Hello, I'm Frank McSheen with Square Peg Consulting at the Whiteboard. I'm a supply chain cash guide, and these are the components of the business-to-business supply chain as I see it. And there are opportunities to generate more cash in every part of this process. Let me show you what I mean. Hello. Our session today in our journey from a cost focus to a cash generation focus is going to deal with an element of management that supports the entire supply chain operations framework in trying to generate more cash. And it has to do with what are called key performance indicators and which one of those help us generate more cash. And there's a lot of debate about how many KPIs, key performance indicators, you should have. Some people say no more than 3, others allow more. I'm going to propose it depends on the complexity of your business. So if you have few customers, if you have few products or services that you deal in, or few channels that you work in, like you're only in retail, only wholesale or distribution, pretty simple business. You probably don't need too many indicators. However, if your business is more complex, many customers, many products or services, or you're dealing in multi-channels, so retail, wholesale, online, direct to consumer, could be many things. You can have a lot of moving parts in your business that are going to affect the cash generation in any given period of time. So a month, let's say. So you want to be able to see weekly what is happening with those moving parts that's going to affect my result at the end of the month, into the quarter, obviously quarters into a year. So in terms of the simple side, after you measure safety and quality, because the way you measure and deal with those two subjects, it affects everything else and sets the tone for everything else you do in your business. You probably would have an indicator for sales, an indicator of contribution or gross profit, and some indicator of what you're focused on in controlling or reducing costs. And that may be plenty on a simple business focused, few customers, few channels or one channel, few products or services. You measure these 5 things, you're going to get a pretty good picture of how you're going to do each period. If you're on the other side though, after we measure safety and quality, so we're going to carry those over. So that's a direct carryover. You're going to look at sales. If you have done an ABC analysis, so you know the different levels of contribution impact coming from my groups of customers, you may want to break down sales into those ABC categories. Or if you're dealing in multiple channels that have a different result, different levels of profitability and contribution in each channel, you might want to look at it by channel. In terms of contribution or profitability, you want to match what you do here in sales. So if we've done it by ABC here or channel here, in sales we want to reflect that under the contribution, gross profit dollar. And these could be estimates, by the way. If you don't have that fully calculated each week, you could do an estimate on the sales for the week. What's my estimated contribution or estimated gross profit going to be? And in terms of costs, in a complex business, the main issue around cost is how to account for mix. Because there's easy products and hard products, and fast products and slow products, or easy services, fast services, etc. And so how do I deal with that? In manufacturing, you have standard hours. In other businesses, you may have estimated hours, like in construction, for example. that measure the content of work in a given hour. And that's a good way of equalizing from complex or hard products, fast products, slow products, etc. The labor content is the same per hour, right? That you're either have a measured standard or you're doing an estimate. So you want to know how many of those did I complete this week? And then what's my total hours worked? That tells me what was the cost of completing that work. So if you divide this result, either standard hours or estimated hours by total hours worked, you'll get a percent, which is really your productivity percent. And it's a good indicator of what the cost was to complete that work. So those are some examples of where you can see down into the moving parts of your business and get a good feel for what's going to be happening each week, and weeks put together into a month, months into a quarter, and gives you a good look ahead to see where are we heading. Are we heading in the right direction? What kind of impact are we going to have on our contribution? Are we aiming at the right customers, at the right channels, at the right products? All those things you can start to see in here pretty quickly if you measure them correctly. Thank you.